Welcome to Menopause Diaries Unfiltered. I'm Jackie Grant, your host, with over a decade experience of working with women peri to post menopause, helping them to lose their next 15 to 20 pounds within 4 months without calorie counting, restrictive diet, or spending all their time in the gym with natural solutions. I've delivered menopause workshops to councils, adult learning, National Health Service, whilst running a community interest company where I deliver and host menopause and women's health cafes in my borough. This is Menopause Diaries, the podcast where we get real about menopause, the weight, the mood, the sleepless nights, the wins, the hard days, unfiltered, unscripted, and unapologetic. Today's guest is Delyth Johnson, therapeutic practitioner who helps women navigate transition, including the midlife, to become more of their true self. Welcome, Delyth.
Hello, Jackie. Really lovely to be with you here today.
Did I actually say your name right?
No, it's okay.
Say
Yeah,
it again. Say your name again.
Delyth.
Delyth. That's it.
It,
Delyth. I should have
it's a,
said it a few times before we started, and then I would have got it.
it's fine. It's very Welsh. It's a very Welsh name.
Yeah, it sounds it because it's got that extra ring at the end, doesn't it?
Mm,
So that's brilliant.
yeah.
So, Delyth. Yeah, Delyth. Right, Delyth, tell us
Yeah.
about your journey through menopause.
Okay. So I am 51 now. Next week I'll be 52.
Happy birthday for next week.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so
What
much.
date is it? What date?
17th of June.
Oh, wow, my sister's the 16th.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
I So I'm now post-menopause by 3 months.
Mm,
I just really want to share with your audience that I feel brilliant.
mm,
And I think that's a really important message
mm,
to send out there. Um, my personal journey. So we were talking a bit before, weren't we, Jackie?
mm,
So I've gone through a real awakening journey over, say, 10 years.
mm,
And menopause or the perimenopause was just one part of that. But
mm,
I don't equate my 10-year journey to it. It was just a part of it.
mm,
And to be honest, I didn't give perimenopause a thought in my 30s or in my 40s, really. It was
mm,
only in my late 40s when I became aware of some changes in my own body that I started to feel, okay, you might be moving now into the transition to be postmenopause. I honestly didn't actually know that much about it. So
mm,
I wasn't placing my attention on it,
mm,
but I noticed some changes. And really, they were an amplification of how I would feel in my cycle, which was fatigue. That was
mm,
my biggest one.
mm,
I've always been hormonally balanced,
mm,
but I have really done a lot of self-care.
mm,
And especially in the last 10 years, I've done a lot of work on myself, on my patterns, my subconscious mind, and
mm,
also physically,
mm,
which I feel then can put you into a stronger position to navigate a natural change.
mm,
And so the actual story is, I actually said to my body when I turned 50,
mm,
let's do it.
mm,
Let's go through the menopause now. I
mm,
actually told my body,
mm.
because the body's always listening
Yeah,
to our language and how we talk to the body.
definitely.
And I actually said, let's do it for
Mm,
various reasons. So I actually wanted to get out the other side. I didn't have concern about being postmenopause.
mm,
I had a strong conviction in myself that life was going to be brilliant afterwards. That was my sense.
yeah.
And I do genuinely feel that life is brilliant for women afterwards, but
Mm,
there's a narrative that can also not be the case. And of course, it's very individual, but for me personally, and knowing how the subconscious mind works, I just had a really strong sense in myself.
mm,
And so I sort of commanded it to take place. And 6 weeks later, I started to experience late estrogen crashes, you
Mm.
know, late stage perimenopause estrogen crashes, which were actually really intense,
Right.
and physically,
Mm.
and also mentally.
Mm.
And then that led me into an 18-month window of really having to navigate um, my body and my being going through a change.
Mm.
That included high anxiety and at times a depressive stage as well. But because I have faith in myself and in my body, I was able to carry myself through that. And because of the work I do with clients, which a lot of it's trauma resolution,
Mm.
subconscious programming, somatic based work,
Mm.
and I've already done work on myself previously, I could hold myself through that,
Mm.
which at times was like a direct line into my psyche.
Right.
So my sense is about this transition is that it can be a real awakening time for a woman,
Mm-hmm.
is that the woman can become highly intuitive. So her own intuition gets really switched on and she's getting to know herself in a different way.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
it's an identity shift.
Mm.
It's not just hormones and high stress.
Yeah.
It's an identity shift and it's a developmental phase.
Mm.
I know people talk about it like it's puberty again,
Yeah.
and so it's such a shift in a world that places women under quite a lot of stress.
Mm.
And so it's a hodgepodge of events for a woman, when she's probably having to juggle quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that, I think, then creates a real challenge potentially for women.
Mm.
But because for me, I mentioned when we had a chat, I went through a real life change years before. I had already simplified my life.
Mm.
So I'd gone through such a big life change. I closed one life down to start again.
Mm.
And so I was in a better place to go through this change, which of course some women don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I feel that what happens is you're going through a biological change, an identity shift, and what used to be called the midlife crisis
Mm.
is kind of like an awakening to what does not work to get you to where things can work better for you. But
Mm.
that is a potentially painful journey. You know,
Mm.
we see relationships break down, don't we?
Yeah.
In this time frame, we see women leaving jobs.
Yeah.
Obviously, some women have children later.
Yeah.
So they've got young kids at a point when they're also going through a big hormonal shift.
Mm.
That didn't happen before.
Yeah.
A lot of women are bringing up children on their own.
Mm.
That didn't really happen before.
Mm.
Or are in difficult relationships or challenging relationships.
Mm.
And just the nature of life now is highly stressful. And so what I did was I
Mm.
really did a lot of nervous system work on a daily basis. And this is what I encourage my clients to do. And you can do that in really simple ways.
Mm.
And when I hit the late perimenopause, that became non-negotiable for me. I returned to a practice called heart math breathing,
Mm.
which within 3 minutes can regulate your nervous system out of fight, flight, or freeze
Yeah.
into a balanced state.
Mm.
And I had to bring that in big time because
Mm.
I'd be waking up at night in
Yeah.
a high anxiety state because a lot of my stories were coming up.
Mm.
I've done a lot of inner child's work. It's what I do with the clients. I feel in this time a lot of our past comes up to be
Mm.
dealt with
Yeah.
because it's held in the body, it's the mind
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
And so the perimenopause or late perimenopause for me was like a direct line into those hidden places.
Mm.
I did a lot of somatic work by doing mobility training. I found really powerful
Mm.
and really getting into my joints,
Yeah.
really a lot around my spine. I had a lot of trauma or tension, conflict held in my pelvis, in my hips, in my spine. So I spent, 10 months doing mobility work.
Mm.
I found that really powerful.
Mm.
Um, I take women or people into the woodland. I do forest bathing. I'm a forest bathing guide, forest therapy practitioner, and nature is a wonderful healing force
Mm.
that is available to us for free and will regulate your nervous system within 20 minutes.
Mm.
And so I found that I had to double down on self-care
Yeah.
and nervous system support and find the tools that really worked for me.
Mm.
And they weren't difficult tools, but it's the consistency, and you'll know that with your clients, is
Mm.
that we can struggle with consistency.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that can be the inner child, or parts of ourselves that just don't want to do that. You know, I
Being
had to,
being the rebellious child.
yeah, the rebellious child, like having a tantrum.
Yeah.
And because I'd done work on myself in this way, say 5 years previously, I'd already developed a consistency, but I
Mm.
had to go through months of forcing myself,
Yeah.
you know. And I don't know if women or people in general know that sometimes we really do have to be quite not stern with ourselves, but be our own inner father to say,
Mm.
no, you are going to go for the walk today.
Mm.
You are going to sit down and breathe,
Mm.
or you are going to move, or you are going to do some journaling, or you are going to meditate. Just, just do it now.
Mm.
So in this, we have to develop some practices and skills and develop characteristics in ourselves that may have been hidden because of childhood
Mm.
conditioning
Yeah.
that we have to develop because the late perimenopause or this journey invites us to really love and nurture ourselves.
Mm.
You know, that's what it was for me. And to learn how to set boundaries, which most
Mm.
women don't do,
Mm.
again, goes back to that child. Um, and to really love and nurture ourselves and to actually be honest about how we're feeling that day.
Mm.
And that, again, women find it hard to communicate their needs or to communicate because maybe as a child they weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
So it's a melting pot of inner conflicts
Mm.
that I feel can come up in this time.
Mm.
But I feel the purpose can be to really help you come out the other side as a mature woman.
Mm.
Because I wasn't before, if I'm honest,
Right.
you know. But that's part of my bigger story.
So,
But yeah, Carrot, go on. What's your
so,
question?
because earlier you said to me before we came on that you moved from London to Cumbria.
Mm,
So, and that was part of the shift.
mm.
So I mean, London, Cumbria, that's like totally different ends of the world.
Yeah, it is.
Not that it's the world, it's the country, but still.
Yeah.
You know, how did that happen?
So I've got family in Cumbria anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So my parents moved up here from Suffolk 20 years ago. So I was used to coming up here, but
Mm.
we used to come to the Lake District as kids and
Mm.
go walking in the fells. Then I lived in London for about 20, 25 years
Mm.
from, say, I don't know, like my early 20s, I lived at Redbridge.
Oh,
And then,
really?
yeah, yeah. And then dotted like you, I dotted around London,
Mm,
for a long period of time. And then when I hit 40, um, literally my 40th birthday was pretty wild. So I had a wild past, party animal. I had two sides myself.
mm.
Um,
Is it that Gemini?
yeah, it's really, and I've got a Scorpio rising sign. Had a bit of a wild side. So I was like these two people in one body. And when I had my 40th, I had a massive party. Um, and I remember thinking, this is going to be an amazing decade. I
Mm,
thought I'm going to meet my soulmates. My life's just going to fall together. It's going to be amazing. 6 weeks later, that was really not the case. There was a real trauma in the family with
mm,
a close family member.
mm,
And that then took into a 2-year cycle of getting that person through a life-threatening condition out the other side. And I was really involved in that. And when I came out of that, so I was being about 42, I started to display really high anxiety.
mm.
But go back 10 years, people didn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
We didn't actually know what anxiety was. I didn't. And so I started to feel all these things, and started to display just behaviors that were not really me. But where I was working at the time, of course, businesses didn't even know how to deal with that then.
No.
I mean, things have changed quite a lot, haven't they, in 10 years?
Mm, yeah.
And I signed up to see a psychodynamic psychotherapist as part of their health and wellbeing offer.
Mm,
And in the first session, I described the trigger event, what was going on, and everything else. And she basically said, "You've probably got an anxious attachment system," which I did not know I had.
mm,
Um, which explains a lot of past behaviors, challenges, and difficulties. I don't, I now have a secure attachment system. And I want to say that because in that world, it can feel like you're never going to get out of it.
mm,
Deep work, um, but you can. And that sort of set into motion a healing phase, which meant I had to leave this job.
mm.
I went to a Tony Robbins thing in 2017 in
Okay.
London,
Okay.
and that kind of really opened the door for me. And a whole host of things happened that I basically had written down in my journal that I wanted to live, that I was starting to manifest. I started to go into the manifestation thing. And I just started to journal, I'm living in the countryside and la la la. And my life actually shut down. So it's really powerful stuff, even if you just write down a statement and keep reading it every day.
Mm,
And like you probably know that with some of your work as well. Um, and so because I was also burning out, so it was last month, so it was hodgepodge of stuff. I had a spiritual awakening in the same time frame, like in this same 6 months, really full on. And this sort of other world started to open up to me as to
mm,
what life is, what reality is. And I couldn't get a job. And so I moved up to stay with my parents for a period of time.
mm,
That was like for 9 months. And I came back to London for 1 year. And then
mm,
I came back up here in June of 2019,
mm,
just before the COVID.
yeah.
And I'm really grateful for that.
Mm,
And that's how it happens. It was I created it, but I didn't know the power of what I was doing then.
Mm,
But it was all for my highest and best.
mm,
And when I came back to London for a year, because I'd actually got myself out of burning out, I'd had a rest. And I was immersing myself in nature then.
mm,
And nature really helped me then.
mm,
Um, I came back to London for the year and I was actually, because I was a bit concerned about coming back. I remember that.
mm,
And actually, I really enjoyed that year. But then I left and I came up here and it was like being in a cocoon. So I had to say then, from 2019, for say 5 years, of real sort of transformation
mm,
in myself. Set up my business, started working with clients online, offline. And that's really taken me for where I am today. But what I will say is now I feel way more balanced and whole than I even did 3 years ago or
mm,
5 years ago because of the late perimenopause was destabilizing.
mm.
But I went in to it. I didn't go around it
Yeah, yeah.
because of the work I do, and I have capacity to hold myself
Mm,
through a lot of energy, so a lot of emotion to
mm,
kind of transmute it, to move it. Um, that's why I feel the way I do now. But most women don't have the luxury of doing it,
mm,
or don't know how to do it,
yeah.
or are fixed in the narrative of this is how it is.
Mm,
And I feel no, it is not. It's an opportunity for you to heal,
mm,
transform, and come out maybe more of your truer nature. Um, but that's not necessarily an easy journey.
mm. Okay.
Does
Well,
that, and did have you had something similar in your experience?
what in terms of my
Mm,
menopause?
yeah.
Well, it's it's kind of a. I mean, I left my job not knowing that I was in perimenopause, and so it was the anxiety that was the key player. I mean, anxious to drive, and that kept getting worse and worse and worse. Do you
Mm,
see what I'm saying? But I didn't actually know what it was, why I was being anxious. And it wasn't until I left my job and I'd done my PT training before I left my job in 2012, and I left my job in 2013, and I just gave 3 months notice. I was like, no, I can't do this because I was the senior manager in drug and alcohol services, and I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. This is killing me off. I don't. You know, I'm in my early 40s now. There's so much life to have, and I thought this is breaking me down. This job, so I left. Um, Went to work in the gym, getting a pittance of money compared to what I was getting. But I was like, do you know what? I don't care. I literally don't care. I'm like, I'd rather get paid that than getting a whole load of money and just being stressed and not feeling happy. So, that was kind of my thing. I just left and, it was the best thing I did because, then I stayed there for 2 years. My whole thing was stay here for 1 year, but I only did PT for 1 year there. Then I did studio coordinator where I could do part time and I just built my business outside the time. So that's kind of how my journey manifests. But after doing my PT training in 2014, I did my menopause and fitness, and that's how I started working with menopausal women.
So it was an invitation, wasn't it?
Yeah,
To do what you actually truly want to be doing.
yeah,
And you took the invitation.
exactly.
Somebody else wouldn't.
Yeah, I was just like, nah. It was the longest 3 months of my life.
Yeah.
doing the my what's it called? When you notice, doing my notice.
Yeah. It's so interesting you say that, Jackie, because it does take me back to when I was in that job. And it was, I couldn't see a way out.
Mm,
And in the end, it manifested as in I was kind of pushed out. There was no choice.
mm,
Um, and for me, this whole journey has been around trusting that I'll be okay.
yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it?
That is the thing. And I only can speak for myself that, yeah, that's been the key to it all. And that this midlife, this perimenopause journey took me into some deep places to find that.
Mm.
Because you did it and you're more than all right.
Well, this is the thing, you see. I wasn't even caring. I was like, literally, I'm just giving this notice. I mean, I didn't have a job or anything to go to after that 3 months because I'd gone, like, this is what I did. I took 2 weeks off. I was like, this is doing me in. I took 2 weeks off. I went to 7 interviews at seven
Mm.
at seven different gyms. And I was like, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. But then also it's like I was an older PT where
Yeah,
most of them are 25-year-olds, all that kind of thing. Do you see what I mean?
yeah.
I didn't fit the mold of, they were like, oh, you should go, like, because I went to ones in the city. Oh, you should go and work in a local one. I think you'd be better in a local one. Why do you think that? I just didn't get that. And actually, I worked in the city then after. So,
Mm.
you know, even though, I got told that the whole time, it was like, nah. And I got a job in the city. So, but what's funny, I got the job, but they couldn't wait 3 months for me to
Right.
leave. So then I was like, oh, he said, get back in touch with me when it's like a month. And they did have something, and that's yeah,
Love it.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it was the best thing I did, seriously.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am now, and I'd probably still be working in the field. And having gone to, some people sadly have passed away that I used to work in drug and alcohol service, and I've gone
Mm.
to, say, a funeral or something like that. People, well, he was one of the directors before, said to me, and now he's the chief exec, you left at the right time.
Mm.
Because now it's very much people are got caseloads of like 120. So do you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like drugs work.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they meant to work with clients in that? Do you see what I'm saying?
No. So, yeah, women in that scenario going through this transition, it's just too much,
It is.
and no wonder then women have all these symptoms.
Yeah, because the thing is, most jobs now, it's like everything's been cut over the years. Everything's been cut, so it's more for less and all this kind of thing. And then you get more stressed and this, that, And so most women, probably our age, would be in a senior role anyway.
Yeah.
So, some people might not be, but a lot might be. And that's stressful in itself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I
Yeah, I
must
do.
admit, it was like, I used to always say to my sister, oh, you might as well like attach me to my laptop, like from when I was working, because it was like, I totally felt like I might, all I was doing was constantly on this computer and constantly doing all these things that
Mm.
were not feeding me or nurturing me at all. Do
Mm.
you see what I mean? And when I literally gave that notice, it's almost like everything kind of started to fall off. Like this heaviness,
Mm.
and you just felt lighter. And when I, left, I was even more lighter. But it was like my confidence had gone as well.
Yeah.
So it's almost like that confidence that I had been eroded away at that time. So it's really funny how uh, you can go through all this at
Yeah.
that time.
You're so right, because there were times when I really did lose my confidence as well.
Mm,
In that late perimenopause stage, I
mm,
felt sometimes I did feel mentally battered. I mean, I never use that word because it's a really strong word, but I did feel mentally um, pressed.
mm,
Um, because I sometimes was like, my God, you've done all this work on yourself, and yet there's so much coming up. All
mm,
of this inner voice. It was like a direct line into, like I said, my psyche.
mm.
And that bred unconfidence,
Yeah.
which now has disappeared.
Mm,
You know, I now I'm 3 months past, I just feel so much more solid and balanced
yeah.
because I did feel imbalanced for those 18 months, but just had to ride it.
Yeah.
And I think the message is you will be okay at the end of it.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know, you absolutely will. And you had, when I hear your story, you have faith,
Mm,
you know, and my faith wavered many times.
mm,
Um, and I had to dig deep. And I think these are things that maybe we don't even talk about really, because it sounds maybe religious or spiritual or whatever. But I think in the window, your faith can be rocked. You
mm,
know, faith in yourself, faith in your body, faith in life providing for me or not.
mm.
And
Definitely.
and these can be really deep inner
Mm,
child wounds.
yeah.
And if we can just be with them and reassure and find techniques, of which there are many, even affirmations, you know,
Mm, mm,
put yourself into a calm state and affirm that I'm safe right now and I will be okay. If you say that every day, day in, day out, you will be okay
mm,
because you're telling your subconscious mind, I am okay.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I feel really grateful for it.
Mm,
You know, I feel really grateful. I've had a lot taken away in some regards. I felt it's like a spilling out, like you said, of things that don't serve you or just you releasing so much from that job.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and you know, you've just got, whew. And, you know, I guess feeling like you're contributing in a way that really works for you. And I think that that is what the midlife can offer us. Um, it's liberating, I feel.
Yeah.
But of course, that's just my story. Someone else may have a different one.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
And we all do. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for being a guest today.
You're
Um,
welcome.
where can people find you?
Yeah, check out my website,
Mhm.
becomingyourtruenature.com. My name is Delyth Johnson. And I have a retreat that actually has just got nominated for an award. You're
Oh,
not, I know, total surprise. I
amazing.
know, like total surprise. It's in the Lake District. It's 2 days in a temperate rainforest. And it's all about being, it's about connecting with women, with nature, and it's less doing because I feel that the midlife is about creating space to be. I run women's circles, the same thing. When women come together and can be together, especially in nature, just stuff happens,
Yeah.
you know, and it can be really simple. I offer one-to-one work if anyone needed that. And I have the Becoming audio program as well that's got some brilliant reviews. So that's where you'll find me.
Great. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you.
That's all right. So thank you all for watching and listening. And if you have any questions for me or my guest, ask them in the comments, like or subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.